Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V, series V's I would do for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I sure hope that I like this more than I think I am, because I have 11 more of them. But we'll get into that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my my ginger shirt. Which I love this shirt. It's a very cool shirt, man. Love this thing. If you're unfamiliar with the band Ginger, they are a progressive metal band out of the Ukraine. They've been doing it for, got to be over 10 years now, because I got into them over 10 years ago. They've had quite a few lineup changes over the years, but they've solidified, you know, kind of like in the last, like 7 years or so, something like that. But like early on, they definitely had like quite a few ups and downs as far as kind of keeping people in the band. But they really started to break out, you know, a few years back, specifically when the video for their song Pisces came out. I think a lot of people were very impressed with particularly the vocal range of the lead singer Tatiana. She has just an absolutely insane vocal range. She has incredible melodic vocals. She can do deep metal growling, kind of different things in between. She's awesome. And the band is awesome. Like, they're fucking amazing. I've been really fortunate. I've actually gotten to see them perform live a few times now. And I like them so much, I've actually got, aside from merch, I've also got videos of the performances that I've attended. Those videos are on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their stuff goes, because I think they're an amazing band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why do I have 11 more of them? Well, folks, that's because I don't think that this exists in single bottle format, or at the very least, I couldn't find it. It happens to be, boom! It's Dr. Pepper, creamy coconut, zero sugar flavor. Limited edition. Okay, so yeah. Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut is a product that came out, at this point, probably a couple months ago at the time I'm doing this. And I went over there, I did a review for it. That review's up on the channel and everything. I found out that they did a zero sugar version, and for the better part of 2 months, anytime I would stop at a gas station or whatever, I would see, you know, if I could find the zero sugar version so I could do a review. Couldn't find it. Then, and honestly, even just the normal stuff, the distribution seems to be very hit or miss. Like, a lot of places don't seem to carry it, even though it's been out for a little while now. Eventually, though, I ended up going to a supermarket, and it turns out that they sell it in can format in 12 packs. So, here we is, hence why I have 11 more after this. I don't know that I'm going to like this all that much, because I wasn't that big into the normal creamy coconut. I'm not a coconut guy. That's my thing. I love Dr. Pepper, though. But for the sake of the review, plus, you know, fuck it. I mean, you know, I'll drink it, so let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. Ha 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 ha. And let's go ahead and try it out. See, because at least with the Dr. Pepper, at least with the normal stuff, it was a 1-to-1, because I love Dr. Pepper, but I don't like coconut very much. This is a 1-to-2. I love Dr. Pepper, I don't like creamy coconut, and I don't typically like zero sugar stuff all that much. But, you know, it smells pretty much the same. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me take another swig, because I've found in doing these reviews for long enough, the first sip of a drink is usually a little bit deceptive. So, yeah. Okay. Not too bad though. Because I remember when I did the normal stuff, the full sugar version, like, it definitely kind of reminded me of the first hit of this, because The initial hit is just that heavy, creamy coconut flavor. And when I did the review of the normal stuff, I was like, I based most of my review off of just that one sip. But then when I went back in for like a second and third drink, it was like, oh, okay, that was kind of just that initial hit. Same thing here. The initial hit is very heavy on the creamy coconut flavor, but subsequent drinks, that's dissipated a little bit. It still has the creamy coconut flavor to be sure, but it's not as heavy as that initial hit. Okay, so credit where it's due. I think I like it more than I thought I was going to, specifically because the zero sugar aspect isn't as abrasive or intrusive as I thought it might be. Now, the thing is, Dr. Pepper, as a, soda brand, they've been pretty good when it comes to, like, their diet versions, their, zero sugar versions, trying to sort of integrate it, in a way where it was going to work. And I think that they've managed to successfully do that here. Like, you do get a little tinge of that zero sugar aspect, but it's not too bad. What did they sweeten you with? Aspartame. That makes sense. Yeah. Because I think if they were using sucralose, which a lot of times energy drinks will do when they're doing zero sugar stuff, that tends to be very abrasive. So you have to work harder to mask it. Yeah, it's okay. It definitely works along basically the same lines as the normal stuff. The creamy coconut is definitely a very forward flavor, which if you're a big fan of coconut, there you go. And then after that, you do have the Dr. Pepper aspect. It does blend surprisingly well. Like, even though there's a little bit of a separation of the flavors, and that the creamy coconut is definitely very strong, kind of at the forefront, and then it dials back a little bit. But it's never just coconut and then Dr. Pepper. It's a blending of the flavors. So I can kind of go with it. Problem for me is that, again, I am not a big coconut guy, so this was always going to be something of a losing battle for me. But it's in an instance like this, it's basically about finding the upshot of it. And the upshot with this is that the zero sugar aspect, it definitely tastes different than the normal stuff, for sure. It doesn't quite have the same oomph, the same vibrancy. But it's not like a kick in the head in terms of the difference, of the flavor. So I think that if you're somebody who, well, I'll kind of go into that in a little bit, but two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Excuse me again. No and maybe. So for me personally, I'm fine with it. For what it is, I will certainly eventually drink the other 11, or, maybe I'll pass some out to friends and stuff like that. But it's live-withable. Like, I don't hate it or anything. If anything, I think maybe because it's not, the full sugar version, it might help dial back that coconut flavor just a little bit. And that kind of works for me because, again, I don't like the coconut all that much. But for what it is, I do still think it's a well-constructed drink. And I think, I have to give credit as far as the zero sugar stuff is concerned. Like, again, it could have been a lot worse. It could have really kind of made the drink even less palatable to me, if that makes any sense. But it's still not something I would go grab again because it's just, it's just not my thing. I have other Dr. Pepper flavors that I like a lot more. Even if I respect this one for what it is. If I'm recommending it, then it's the thing of, okay, well, what do you want out of it? If you've tried the original stuff, well, the normal stuff, if you've tried that, and maybe for whatever reason, maybe you're more of a zero sugar person or something like that, absolutely, go ahead and grab this. It is, I think, a good representation of it. And, again, if you're somebody who maybe you're trying to kind of limit your sugar intake, something like that, sure, I think it works. And I think it's an overall good beverage that is still representative of the normal version of the drink. It's not a huge departure from it. So credit where it's due. But if you're already content with, well, I guess the argument could be made, maybe if you're already content with the normal stuff, but maybe the coconut aspect is, a little bit much for you, maybe this could be a little something for you. The only thing is, again, because it is seemingly only in can format, well, you're going to be buying like a 12-pack of them. So I would say if you're kind of on the fence about it or whatever, just leave it alone. You can always just get the normal ones in the single can, the single bottles. So, but anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week. My name is rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly Dr. Pepper-tastic rest of your life, because Dr. Pepper is. Final 2 things. Number 1, I'm trying to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's my question I'm going to pose for you. What's your personal take on the zero sugar stuff as far as, do you, if you indulge in it, if you're partaking in it, are there any brands that you find do it better than others? Are there any drinks where you might even prefer it? I mentioned before, I got a buddy, Dan. Fuck you, Dan. He doesn't watch my videos. But Dan, he's not too much on the super sugary drinks, so he usually does like the zero sugar stuff these days. And for him personally, that's his jam, and so as a result, he has a lot of different opinions on these things. For me personally, obviously, I tend to prefer to just go the normal route, or the more conventional route, whatever you want to consider it. And, but as I've been doing these reviews, I've certainly formed my own opinions and stuff, so I'd be interested to hear what yours are.